Well, we're back on our Chevelle 71, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove all the front end parts, and then we're going to disconnect the brakes. We're going to disconnect all the electrical. We're going to disconnect the heater core boxes, of course, the lines to go to the heater core box. We're going to disconnect that. We'll get the whole front end taken off, the core support, the radiator, and the inner fenders, which are plastic. These are plastic, and you can't actually buy these. So I'm going to talk to the owner and see what he wants to do, because one of them over there is busted. We'll get all the wiring off of the firewall. We'll take the wiper motor off. I don't know if we're going to take the brake booster off or not. I don't think we're going to do that. But before we do all that, what I got to do is I got to get that shifter out of there, because we're getting ready to take the body off of this car, and I got to disconnect all the linkage for the steering and everything else. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take the shifter off. Now, we got kind of lucky on this, that this is actually a 4-speed on the floor, so we should be able to just unbolt the shifter itself, and then the transmission will be there, and we can just lift the body off the car that way. Now, when I take the body off the car, all the body panels are going to be on the car. We're going to have the doors on there and the trunk lid. We're not taking those off. The reason we're taking the body off is, here's a good example. Look at the engine on this thing. Just nasty. Just a total nasty. Even the air cleaner looks trashy, like someone tried to paint it with spray cans and did a shitty job doing it. We're going to get a good look at the bottom of the car, but you can see just by the accessories on the firewall. Look at this. So you can imagine what the bottom of the car looks like. So I'm draining the radiator right now, so we can pull all that out. So while that's draining, let's go ahead and get this shifter out and start disconnecting everything that we can to pull it all apart and get her done.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So we're going to go ahead and take this cover off, and looky there, we got lucky. This is actually the size we need. So I'll bag and tag this and make sure that we keep everything together, because that's really important when you're doing this, is to bag and tag. I don't know if the owner's going to buy a brand new rubber seal for it, but this is your example of domino effect right here, guys. This is the domino effect, because look, okay, is the owner going to put this back on there, or is he going to buy a brand new one? Do you see what I'm saying? And it just leads into one thing after another. Okay, that's ready to come out. Now, I will say, when I took the console out, it wasn't even bolted in. It was just sitting in here on top of there, so I just lifted it out. But now that we got the shifter off, we can go ahead and get up on the top and start disconnecting everything on the firewall. So once again, when you are restoring these old cars like this, you want to take as many pictures as you can. That way you got a road map of how everything goes back together the proper way to get it all in conjunction with the way it's supposed to be. So if we look at the wire harness down here, we notice that it's already deteriorated and falling apart. And you can see right here where somebody put duct tape around it to hold it together. So when we take this apart, we're going to be very, very easy doing that. And the way that you take that apart, you got to get in there with a socket and get that bolt off, and then this whole wire harness comes apart, and then this one actually slides off of this one here. So to get in there, we're going to have to go ahead and eliminate our inner fender well to actually get in there properly, and I'll have to disconnect all these wires that are running down and get them loose off of that fender well. So what we're going to do first is we're going to come over here and we're going to go ahead and take our brake lines off. And you can see that, yeah, it's pretty rotted and shot action going on here. Like I said, when you get involved in this type of work, it starts to turn into a domino effect where you end up literally making a concourse restoration out of a paint job. And that's what kind of sucks about these, but you know, it all depends on how far you want to go. If this car wasn't an East Coast car, I probably wouldn't have suggested for the owner to do this to it. And I also see behind here we have a clamp holding the brake lines on that I will have to unbolt from the... Okay, so that's bolted to the side right there. Okay, so on our power booster on the side of it right here, if you look really close down in there, you can see there's a bolt holding that bracket on that we have to remove. So we'll go ahead and get this fender well off. It seems like this fender well's in the way here, so we're going to go ahead and take the fender well off of the vehicle and then proceed to work on the firewall. Alright, as you can see, I went ahead and took the inner fender wells off, and I'm in the process of removing all the wires and everything else. And I wanted to show you this piece right here. If you take a little screwdriver and you separate these like this, alright, the light harness, the front light harness is separate from the engine harness. So that's what makes it really nice about doing this. Now I will take some duct tape and I'll cover this up because we don't want to get that dirty. There's actually lithium grease inside this and we want to keep that nice and clean. So we'll go ahead and get this bolt off that's holding these brake lines in place. And all these bolts that I'm taking off are rotted. I mean, they are literally just rotted to rust. I'm actually surprised that they're coming off of here, to be honest with you. There we go. So now that's loose from the vehicle. And we're going to leave that bolt right there for now. We're not going to take it off. Once we get the body off, then we'll mess with it. So I'm just going to kind of like bend these easily out of the way, and then I'll go ahead and cover these holes up so they don't get sand, trash, or dirt inside them, and we'll put some duct tape on these. Unless I have some plugs that I can actually plug them off with. I might have some of those. So I got the clutch pedal I got to disconnect right here. That's pretty simple and easy to do. And I'll go ahead and take my screwdriver, my little screwdriver again. There should be a clip on this here that we can pop off of here. It's like a little E-clip type situation, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Somebody just laid a piece of wire in that and didn't even really put a clip at all in it. So we'll be throwing that in the trash, definitely. And then the clutch pedal should release from that, just like that. I'll get my finger out of the way. There we go. Okay, so that's loose. The next thing we need to do on this side of the car is we need to remove the steering column from the gearbox. So in order to do that, we got to get our bolts lined up that we need to remove. And there's one of them right there. So we need to get our wrenches and remove those nuts and bolts. And there should be two of them, one on each side. Yeah, this one here is being a real bear of a deal. And this should be a collapsible steering column, so with any luck, it should come off real easy. Here it goes. Now, the collapsible part on the steering wheel doesn't work, but as you can see, it's loose. Okay, we got mostly everything disconnected on this side. I got a wire I got to disconnect down here on the frame. And let's see what else. I got to disconnect that wire right here. Then I'll come over here, I'll disconnect these hoses right here. And we'll get all this disconnected right here. If I can get that off, we'll get that off. We got to take that wire harness off. Disconnect the wire harness from the firewall that goes to the engine, and then once all that's done, then we can actually start unbolting the body of the car. Well, I got the whole front end stripped. I got the wire harness off. I got everything disconnected, heater hoses, brake lines, steering columns, the whole 9 yards. And the next thing that I got to do is get this cable off right here. Now, I'm speculating whether it might be a good idea just to cut that cable and buy a new one, because those things are a pain in the ass to get off. And we're not talking like a pain in the ass, we're talking extreme pain in the ass. So let me show you what we got to do. So if we look right there, I got to take that black cover off, that black kicker panel cover, front foot cover, whatever you want to call it. I got to take that off. And then over here, I got to disconnect it from the emergency brake activator. So we got to get this panel off, and then once we get this panel off, then we can go ahead and get behind there to remove the cable. And that, my friend, is what the chore is to get that cable off of there. And you can basically see what I'm talking about right there. The cable has got to come off of that little knuckle. And then once you get that off, you got to, right here, there's these little fingers that you got to push in to get the cable out of the body. So, yeah, it's not an easy job by any choice whatsoever. So I'm going to take this poker tool and try to pull this off of here, just like that. And that's what we're looking at. So we don't want to lose that. And then, if I can get my vice grips on here, I can go ahead and get that off of there, just like that. And now that that's off, now what we got to do is we got to get those little fingers to bend in so we can get that cable off of there. And this is where it mainly takes 2 people to do this, because there's like 4 fingers on there that you got to pull off. You got to have one person on the outside pulling while the other person's on the inside pushing the little clips down. So we got Minnie the body shop girl out here, and what she's going to do, she's going to pull down on it. Yeah, she's going to jiggle it around and pull down on it when I tell you why. Push them fingers in to get it out.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, we got Minnie the body shop girl outside. She's going to wiggle it around while I try to get these fingers unlocked. This is the real bitch right here. Just getting these things. Push up on it a minute. Yeah. Okay, hang on. There's one back here that's... Alright, let me get a hammer. Hang on. It's like rusted in there. Jiggle it around. Okay, so there's that. The owner might want to replace that. I don't know what he's going to do, but we'll figure that out later. Alright, now that we got the cable out and disconnected, we're having an issue. Of course, I already knew this was going to happen. If you look at that square nut in that hole right there, well, it's busted free. It's not spot welded on there anymore, so I'm going to have to either spot weld it on there, get it back welded, or try to take some vice grips and hold it while I turn the nut from the bottom. So I'm going to get my welder out and we will weld that bolt in place and see if that will help it to hold it so we can get these off. Okay, we got that welded. Let's go ahead and see if we can get it out of there. The smoke you see is from grease and oil and saturation, but I'm going to get up under there and see if I can get that bolt loose and take it out. Alright, now that we got that one out, let's go ahead and move forward, or should I say backwards, and try to get the ones off the frame rail itself. Okay, if we come down the frame rail from the front where we were over to the next possible bushing, body bushing, if you look up in here, I'm going to show you this. This one here is not a bolt at all. That's just a bushing that's sitting on the frame. So we got to keep moving down the frame rail and get these bolts out of here. And we come to our next one, which is right here in this area, right here. Let's see what that one looks like. And if you take a gander up in there, you see this one's rotted and rusted too. So it's going to take some real ingenuity and a lot of praying to God that these come off. And that one came off with ease. Look at that. Just came right off of there. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and go around the body. You get the idea what's going on. We're going to go ahead and remove all the body bolts and then get this thing ready to take off of the frame. I started this morning at 8 o'clock and it's now 3 o'clock, so I took an hour lunch break and this is how far we got. This is it. disconnected the cable, but before I stick my hand in there, I'm putting some safety blocks between this frame. Because if that thing gives out while my hand's up under there disconnecting all this, it'd literally probably chop my arm off. So we want to make sure that we're really protected there. So I got to reach up in here, and once again, I don't want that to fall on me. There's that bracket, and there we go. Okay, now there's another wire here, and it looks like that wasn't even hooked up. So we'll have to figure out where this thing goes. This looks like a ground wire. No, it's actually a sensor wire that goes to something. So we'll keep our eyes on that. But now that I got the cable out, we can go ahead and continue to jack this thing up. Ah, God, what a bitch. So we got to get this up high enough so the back wheels will roll out. That's our main objective here, is to get that done and make sure that those will roll up. But you can kind of see what's going on with the frame. I'm going to go get Minnie, the body shop girl, so she can help me set this up, and then we're going to get this rolling chassis out of the body of the car. Okay, get your stack jacks down right in this area here. Okay? And then jack it up all the way to the last one. Pull it up all the way.
You don't need to scream.
Alright, watch your hands. Don't get too close to that. Grab it. Set it on the stand. Pull it your way a little. Right there. Is it right in the center?
Yeah.
Alright, perfect fit. Yeah, that's going to work out a lot better than using the 4x4s, because the 2x2 actually fits into the jack stand. So if you're doing this at home, get some 2x2. It'll work great. Okay, here we go. Are we still good up in the front there?
It looks all right on this side.
It's not wobbling or moving?
I don't see it wobbling or moving.
Okay, hold on. It sounds like something might still be hooked up. Let's see what we got. Okay, hold on a minute. You want to get those blocks of wood? I got to disconnect the fuel lines from the fuel tank. Actually, let's just do this. There. Oh, we're just going to cut those hoses. He's going to replace the fuel tank anyway.
Yeah.
And more than likely, after we see what the fuel lines and the brake lines look like, I'll bet you $100 he goes ahead and replaces that. We're going to make this a brand new, more than likely it'll be a brand new rolling chassis. I think that's it. Do you see anything else?
No.
I think that's all we got.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to watch those wheels in the back.
Something's hitting.
Huh?
Something's hitting.
Okay, hang on. Let's jack it up a little higher. Hold on. You gonna clear now?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh?
I think so.
Okay, we're just hitting those fuel lines. All right, come on up here. Let's go ahead. Get it out of here. How's it look?
It's hitting something.
Okay.
It moved the whole body. See that metal thing sticking up? Like a hose?
That hose?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't worried about
Is that flexible?
Yeah.
Because that's going to hit. Alright, I'm going to watch back here.
Looking good over here.
Okay, I think you're going to hit your bar. You're going to hit your bar.
Hang on.
Yep.
I think it's those rubber things. Let me take the rubber things off. It looks like everything will clear except that. Okay, it's going to hit.
It is going to hit.
So we're going to have to take the air out of the tires.
This frame looks like a
Rotted.
zebra or something.
Okay, so when this happens, and this usually happens because my jack stands aren't tall enough, and I'm not going to go buy taller jack stands, what we got to do is is take the air out of the tire.
Don't put your arm right there.
It's not going to clear, huh? Let's get that off and see.
That's not what's sticking up high.
I know. I see it. Okay, hang on. Hopefully that'll let it down enough to go over here. Okay, it'll clear now. Okay, so we flattened the tires. Let's see what we got. Oh, this fucking fuel line's getting... I'm pretty sure he's going to want to replace all that. Come on. Okay. Okay, there you go. Let's go over the frame real quick and see what's going on with that. We'll probably go ahead and blast this first and restore the frame, then get on the car. So what we got, you want to come over here? We got all of the fuel lines are rotted. Look at that. Okay, look at the rust on this. We're going to go ahead and blast them. They're rotted. Alright, if you look right here, look at this line. Our brake line, rotted. Look how rotted this is. We got emergency cables rotted. Look at this. More than likely, we're going to pull the engine and the motor out. Engine and transmission, I mean. And we're going to have to do a quick restoration on that. It's just a rust bucket from Pennsylvania. Look at the exhaust. The exhaust is surface rusted. Is the exhaust still good? It possibly might still be good. We won't know until we blast it. But yeah, so this was actually hooked up to the steering column. Now, does anybody know what that's for? Because I know what that's for. If you look over here, this is a 4-speed. So this car was actually special ordered, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because this is a column shift. So this was hooked up to the column, and it was originally supposed to be a column shift car, but somebody special ordered this option here to have the 4-speed put in it, and they left the column shifter on the car. Do you see that?
Yeah.
This is the column shifter linkage that would go over here to control the 2-speed power glide, and then they went ahead and installed the 4-speed on it. So this is a special option vehicle that whoever bought this car originally special ordered that. The body, what did I say? We got it off the car. I'm going to go ahead and put the other stands on it so it doesn't move around. But we're going to go ahead and put it on the rotisserie just like this. I got to make brackets for it, so it's going to be a while. But the thing is, the car is off of the frame. We're getting ahead of the game here. And we're probably going to go ahead and do the firewall as well. We'll go ahead and get that blasted and clean all that up. Probably have this blasted up here. We're going to be dismantling everything on this probably. Look at the rear end. That's a bad situation. So Sandblaster Steve has got a real chore ahead of him to clean this up. Am I right or wrong?
Yep, big job.
And my friend Pete's got even a bigger job dismantling it and assembling the whole frame back together. When we get done with this thing, I want everybody to take a good look at it. When my friend Pete finishes this, it's going to be concourse restoration, mint condition, brand new factory original. So, yeah, there you go. All right, let's get this on there. We got stuff to do.
Do you want me to turn it off?
Yeah, baby.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.